Well, hello Internet, and welcome to my How to Code PHP tutorial. This is part 2 in a series of currently 7 videos. In this tutorial, I'm going to cover math functions, arrays, if statements, conditional, and logical operators. Here's a listing of most often used math functions available in PHP. We have the absolute value. We have the ceiling, which returns the value of a number rounded up to the next highest integer. Then we have a function that will return e to the value of x. Floor returns the value of a number rounded down to the next lowest integer. IsNan returns true if the value passes a number and false otherwise. LCQ value returns a random number between the values of 0.0 and 1.0. Obviously, if you want a larger random number, you would just multiply your random number times that random number. Max returns the number with the highest value of the two numbers you send it. Minimum does the opposite of max. Pow returns the value of x to the power of y. Round returns the value of x rounded to the defined number of decimal places. Square root returns the square root of a number. And there are also many inverse trigonometric functions. If you don't know what that means, don't worry about it. And if you do, then you will know how to use them. An array is a variable that can hold multiple separate values. If you think of a variable as a box that holds one value, an array is like a big box with many boxes inside of it, all with their own values inside of them. Arrays are structured as a series of key value pairs. The key part is like a note on the box that says underwear. In the case of an array, you could give each box a name like underwear and other things like that. But by default, the first value you enter has the key value of 0 and proceeds upwards numerically. You assign a value to an array like this. As you can see what I'm doing here with this array named dogs. I'm assigning the word German Shepherd to it. Now the fourth box in the array has the value German Shepherd. Remember, the boxes start with the value 0. That is why the third box is actually the fourth box. Get it? To output the value of an array, you could just simply use the echo function here, followed by that array's name and whatever value you want to output. That's it. You can cycle through and output the values of an array with the for-each function. And here is an example of using the for-each function. The for-each function will keep adding 1 to the value of the array, and then the echo function prints them to the screen. What this little block of code does is the for-each function will keep adding 1 to the value of the array, and then the echo function prints them to the screen. In this example, the name of the array dogs is followed by the keyword as, and then the variable you want to temporarily use to hold the current value being issued by the array dog name. When placed in the for-each function, every statement called between the opening and closing curly braces will be called. You could also create arrays of data inside of other arrays. Let us say you want the dogs array to be part of your animals array. This is how you would do that. Here we assign the keys to 2 arrays named dogs and cats, and then pass them into the array named animals. If I wanted to echo a value from the dogs array, I just do it this way. Follow echo, then the variable animals, followed by dogs, and then 3 within the brackets. This would print out the value German Shepherd that I assigned to it above. It is common to use arrays and strings together, so here are a few commonly used functions. Explode function turns a string into an array. You define what character in the string you want to separate the values that will be inserted into the array. Then also pass the string to separate. The separator is normally a comma, space, tab, semicolon, or other white space or punctuation mark. The implode function turns an array into a string. Here you define what you want to separate the array values that will go in the new string. The separators used are the same as I just described above with the function explode. It is also common to sort your array values. Just understand that when you do, your keys will stay the same and just the values will be sorted. That is why most people allow their keys to remain the default numbers like I described above. The sort function will sort the values in ascending or alphabetical order, while the rsort will sort the values in the opposite direction. Every language provides the programmers with the capability to react differently based off of different conditions. With the PHP engine, you handle conditions using either the if-then-else or switch statements. This is the format of an if condition handler. This if statement asks if a certain condition is true perform all the actions contained between the curly braces. If they are not, skip all the actions and test to see if another condition is true. And if that condition is also false, then perform the last set of actions. Here is a real-world version of the if statement. Here we're checking if the variable age is greater than 45 and if the variable age is less than 65. If both of these are true, we will echo out to the screen, "You are a baby boomer," and so forth. There are 10 different operators you can use in PHP to test for different conditions. Here is the list. You have the equal to, not equal to, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. Here we have the NOT logical operator. If it is placed before a condition, it will provide the opposite results. The conditional 5 greater than 2 would return a value of true, and then the NOT operator would convert the result to the value of false. The logical AND logical operator is used to perform more complicated comparisons, used to test that 2 or more conditions return a value of true for the logical AND to return a value of true. The logical OR operator is also used to perform more complicated comparisons. It's used to test that one or another condition returns the value of true. If either or both of them return the value of true, then the logical OR will say that the logical operation is true. These conditional and logical operators are used not only for if statements, but also with switch, for, while, and do while statements, as you will see soon. In part 3 of my How to Code PHP tutorial, I'm going to cover the switch, for, while, do while, and how to include files in your PHP scripts. Till next time.